Kevin Fine is a station manager at Jacaranda FM here in Johannesburg and joins us to share some thoughts on winning partnerships in radio. Welcome. Radio Station of the Year 2015. What does it really mean, though, to advertisers? Why do they need to take notice of something like this?
Well, firstly, if you win Radio Station of the Year, it means you're doing something right. From a content point of view, a talent point of view, a music point of view, we're judged on the product. And I think the important thing for me is that you're judged by your peers. So it means that in the context of other radio stations, and there are 279 other licenses in the country, you're doing something right. What it says to advertisers is this is a platform that you can use that's going to achieve your goals. Now, everybody has a different objective, every brand has a different desire. I think for us, it's about building communities and then unleashing them on our advertisers. So if I look at the size of our digital community, for example, almost 1.5 million people, highly engaged, almost 2 million people across 4 provinces, that's an audience that's looking for amazing content and for advertisers who want to stand out. So while you can put generic adverts on the air, the real opportunity is for advertisers to engage with our consumers. And I just should also probably point out that engagement is really where it's at. We are a multi-channel media platform. We're not just a radio station anymore.
And you preempt my next question, because you've just used the word community in the plural, communities. Conventional wisdom would suggest that radio is about a single homogenous community. That's not true anymore, and that obviously offers more advantage and opportunity to advertisers.
If you look at the kind of products that we put out, we've got live activations and engagement with consumers through events. We've got a digital platform, we've got a .com platform, we've got a social media platform, and then of course we've got our actual radio platform plus TV. So if you're an advertiser and you're looking for a multi-channel environment and the maximum spend on your investment or the maximum return on your investment, there's bigger opportunities. And really, that's what media companies are looking to do. They want to be the second screen. We want to be the third screen, the fourth screen, the fifth screen. We want to have multiple engagement points, not just for Jacaranda FM, but for clients as well.
But the danger is losing sight of the core, which is the radio station.
You can never lose sight of the core. We're a music-led product. And the thing that unifies people wherever they go, dance parties, there's now silent discos where you put headphones on and bop to your own music with different DJs.
I shall never go to one, yes.
I'm sure you won't. But the truth is, if you can get people to unite around music and deliver them great content and great talent, that is the core of the product, and that will always remain, the connection between the radio presenter and the person whom they're presenting to. And that's why people take radio so personally.
What about meeting the needs of a changing South Africa? You speak very proudly of a culture of diversity. You have a new lineup that reflects that. Why is that important?
Well, we're particularly proud of that. I think in terms of being a South African brand, we have a great legacy. We're 30 years old on the 1st of January. We broadcast to 4 provinces, 50% English, 50% Afrikaans, and of course we're half white and half black in terms of our listenership. What's interesting for me is that in order to show diversity that we've built inside the building, you've got to absolutely show diversity on the air, and that will translate to our listeners as well. So our job is to build audiences. The more we show that diversity in our building, the more we show diversity on the air, the more we'll attract new listeners. And so we want to retain our core audience who've been very loyal to us, and we're very proud of our legacy as a radio station. But our job is to continue attracting audiences and keeping them happy. So you've got to win them, keep them, make them happy, a functional strategy that works really well for us. But it has to work together. You can't market a product that hasn't evolved. And so as our evolution continues as a South African brand, the diversity that we've built, again, inside the building, on the air, and for our listeners will start to show through.
I just want to come back in conclusion to the different platforms that one single entity is operating on. You said correctly that you can't lose sight of the core, which is the radio station itself, but also behind that, Kevin Fine, you've got to make sure that you're pulling all of those together in one unified strand. How difficult is that?
It's a very tough challenge. Building company culture in any environment has its challenges. We apply 3 very specific values, one of high performance, integrity, and innovation. When you apply those 3 as a core set of values internally and with your staff, and you apply that to your daily working environment, and then you apply it on air and with your engagement with consumers and stakeholders, shareholders and listeners, what you get is a great recipe. It takes a lot of hard work, it takes great people, and I would liken it to, although I'm not a big fan, a Formula One team. That driver's got to rely on his team to change his tyres in 8 seconds. And when you get that level of efficiency and that level of trust, what you get is trust not only from your internal stakeholders, but your audience as well and your advertisers.
Also, this multi-strand strategy, very quickly, in terms of making sure that the advertiser gets a proper distribution across those platforms. How difficult is that to get right?
It depends
So
on
that distribution's the right word. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Frequency.
Exposure, frequency. Yeah.
So it depends on the advertiser need. Some want, it depends on whether they want to do a branding exercise, whether they want to do a launch of a new brand, whether they want to do a consistency campaign. Each brand will come to us with a particular need. It's our job to apply the creativity and the frequency that's going to make them stand out. So while, again, some people may want generic adverts, which work very well, some people may want a call to action. Big for us, of course, is how we collect data. Now, our consumer data model allows us to understand consumers a lot better. It also allows us to help advertisers in attracting and talking to customers in a more meaningful way. So not only are we engaging with consumers, but we're giving our advertisers the opportunity to say, we need to speak to a specific consumer. And as the more promotions we run and the more engagements you run, the more knowledge we're able to give to our advertisers. And over a period of time, what we'll find is that our advertisers will have a better opportunity to engage in exactly the right way, as opposed to many opportunities in the past, which sometimes are spray and pray.
Kevin Fine from Jacaranda FM, thank you.
Thank you.